Whether you want to start hiking for the first time, or are just looking for another background for an Instagram post, the Eaton Canyon Falls Trail is a perfect place to start for beginners.
The Eaton Canyon Falls Trail begins at the Eaton Canyon Trailhead, which seems to have pretty ample parking. As you begin to head north up along the riverbed, you'll begin to notice just how flat and mild of a trail it is, despite the LA County Department of Parks and Recreation listing it as moderate in difficulty. After about a half hour on average, you should reach the intended endpoint for the trail, Eaton Canyon Falls, a scenic waterfall that provides a satisfying conclusion to your hike. At least, I like to imagine so.
That's because I never stepped foot on the Eaton Canyon Falls Trail. See, when I originally set out to record what I'll now be calling the ECF Trail, I misread a couple signs and ended up on the Mount Wilson Toll Road. Yeah, so whether it was blind ignorance or the onset effects of mild dehydration, I ended up about 2 miles, I'd say, up a mountain I was never even supposed to be on. But I mean, hey, can't deny that view, I guess.
For the relatively mild incline of the Mount Wilson Toll Road, the speed at which we gained altitude is pretty surprising. In only about 20 minutes, we already had a beautiful shot of Los Angeles County. The trek up was also unexpectedly pleasant, save for the lack of shade exposing to the full anger of the sun for most of it. There wasn't much in the way of wildlife, unfortunately, with the exception of a few lizards and this bird I saw. I mentioned earlier how the toll road was relatively mild. There are, however, a few instances in which the road steepened a bit. I can only really recommend the Mount Wilson Toll Road for the more experienced hiker, especially if you intend to make it all the way to the end.
While I ended up on a toll road instead of a hiking trail, scenery at least made the effort of getting up here semi-worthwhile. This has been Rocco, still lost in the mountains. Back to you people in the studio.